Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Micromaster Decepticon Racetrack Patrol from Transformers Earthrise War for Cybertron trilogy. It is comprised of Roller Force and Groundhog. Now I believe what they're trying to get at is he's hogging the ground because he's a car, but when I hear the term groundhog, I think of the animal and then I think of Groundhog Day. So it's a bit of a weird name in my opinion, but I gotta be honest, I'm not super familiar with these Micromasters. There were several Micromasters out back in the day, and there was some when I was a kid. I absolutely had them, and I 100% remember them, like the Hot Rod Patrol. And then I look at these, and I don't remember them at all. So I'm sure these are faithful recreations. I have no reason to think otherwise. All the others they've done have been, but I really don't remember these from being a kid. But they look cool. I love the artwork on the back. You can see really cool artwork of the cars here. I think that's Airwave in the background. You can see a little bit of orange and blue there. So I always love the artwork for these cards. I always think it looks really cool. Taking a look on the back, you can see robot mode, vehicle mode, and then of course they are also posed on Airwave, which I unfortunately cannot recreate for you. I have not been able to find the Wave 2 Deluxes anywhere. I think I have everything else. Battlemasters, Micromasters, Voyagers. I mean, there honestly haven't been, if you think about it, there's been one Battlemaster, there's been one Voyager, there's been one Leader class, and then I think there were 2 Micromaster sets and then 4 Deluxes. So I'm about halfway through the wave, I guess. But it's just weird. I feel like Earthrise is losing steam and it's only wave 2. It's very strange. They're really moving more into like the online 2-pack exclusives and things like that. I mean, I'll eventually get all the toys, so I'm fine with it. But it just feels weird that the normal retail releases are not happening. I feel like maybe they push some stuff to like online exclusive so they can hurry up and bring Kingdom in, because maybe they're afraid that this isn't really bringing in the revenue that they want. So they're like, let's get the Kingdom, let's hurry up. We'll take what we would have normally released at retail, push it off to online exclusives. The people who were going to buy it anyway will buy it from, Amazon 2-packs and whatnot, and we can move up Kingdom and get to it faster. I guess I'm okay with it because I do want Kingdom. I've seen lots of leaks and things online. They look good. But I feel like Earthrise needs to get its due as well, so I don't know. But in any case, I'm excited to take a look at this 2-pack. I think they look really cool. I'm going to go ahead, get them out of the packaging, and we're going to take a closer look. Alright, so here they are out of the packaging. I think they look pretty good. It's going to be kind of hard to get in close here. I don't really know what's going on with the face there. I think it's a visor, and then it's just a weird mouth, I guess. I'm not really sure. It does look like a little bit of yellow paint didn't quite make it all the way to the edge of the visor on that side, which is a bit of a bummer. I do like the little bit of red there. Otherwise, it looks like the entire leg is molded in purple, but we did get some paint on the front to match the torso, which I appreciate. And then you have some nice silver paint for the windows. We'll get into that a little bit more when we get to the transformation. And then we have Roller Force. His, I guess that's a visor for him as well. It's kind of like it almost looks like a blast shield or something down over his eyes. And then you have a little bit of blue paint there on the face, which again, didn't quite make it to the entire face. So it kind of unfortunately just looks like he got something on his face and needs to clean it off. Because there's really a lot of yellow around the edges. And that's kind of a bummer. I understand when it gets that small, it's hard to paint. I do appreciate the silver over here on the sides, and the flames on the hood of the car are pretty cool as well. So with all these, you have ball joint in the shoulder, although it's kind of a little limited just because of clearance issues and things. And then you have a ball joint in the hip, which again, I think it technically is a ball joint, but it really just kind of happens more as a swivel because it can't really do much out to the side. And then you have a bend in the knee, but that's really for transformation. So you do have a waist swivel as well. So pretty cool. Next we move on to Groundhog. He's got basically the same articulation. You got a ball joint there in the shoulder. You have the waist swivel. You have a ball joint in the hip. He's got a little bit of out to the side. And then you have that knee bend. I got to comment real quick. Their names, though, I don't know if these are the original names from back in G1 or if they lost those names and had to come up with something new. But again, Groundhog just makes me think of the animal, and Roller Force Roller Force sounds like a 90s movie about some kids with rollerblades that have to raise money to save their local skate park or something like that. I don't... Roller Force? What is that? It sounds really strange to me. I don't know. But anyway, I think they're cool little Micromasters. I like them. I wish he had a little bit more out to the side movement with his hips. But other than that, I think they look pretty good. Let's go ahead. We'll get to transformation. Alright, so it's a little bit more complicated than you would think. You have to kind of push these two. You can see how there's kind of like a lip here, and that fits into that little space there. So you push those together, and then you have to flip this part back, and this will come around and peg in like that. And then they don't stay together the best, but you have these hands, which you can see the tabs right here, and they tab in right there into the ball joint spot on the hip, and that kind of keeps them in place a little bit better. And then you just flip this down. So he stays together fairly well. And again, you have some nice silver paint for the windows, a little bit of red for the spoiler there. I think it's a pretty cool little race car. Wheels spin decently, not amazingly. Doesn't really roll so much as you kind of like push it. But getting to this guy, you're going to do something very similar. You're going to just go ahead and transform his legs like pretty much every Micromaster you've ever encountered. But I don't know why I have trouble with this one. This one leg does not want to stay in. You can see it just... And I thought, am I not lining something up? And then you can go ahead and put the arms in as well, and it helps a little bit. But for whatever reason, it's not a huge deal, but just that back one does not really want to peg in, and I don't know what the issue is. I feel like it's probably something with one of these isn't quite lined up. So it just doesn't want to stay, which is kind of a bummer. But overall, I think they make cool little cars. Like I said, I can't tell if they're rolling or if I'm literally just pushing them across the table because they're so light and tiny. Your guess is as good as mine, but, you know, they're cool little cars. I like them. This kind of does the same thing where, like, it doesn't stay down all the way. It kind of pops up, and that adds to the not quite rolling situation. But overall, I like the design of the two cars, and I like the color scheme. Just for whatever reason, I seem to have some problems transforming this one. Again, not a huge issue, but let's go ahead. We'll check out the combined weapon mode. Alright, so starting from the car modes, you're going to take Roller Force. You're going to... I guess you should unhook the arms first. It makes it a little bit easier. Sometimes when I get these things all pegged in, they really stay solid, except for this back leg. So this is supposed to come down like this. I think this pegs down like that. And then this is supposed to tuck in like that, I think. And then this guy you basically transform all the way back into robot mode. Then you just peg the arms back in to the sides, like so. Then you flip this down, flip out the peg, and then this is supposed to peg in on top of this, like so, and there you have it. What am I looking at? I really don't get these. I'm sorry. I appreciate you trying to make these Micromasters into weapons, but I just don't think they work. Here, let me zoom out here and bring in a helper. We'll go ahead and take this weapon out of his hand. Yeah, I don't get these. I'm sorry. I've never really liked... I mean, look at this. Yeah, I mean, come on. What is that? I don't get it. I mean, once again, I think with the cars, you're better off using them separately. Like, they're still not great, but I feel like at least this, I can kind of get behind this being a blaster of some kind. If I would literally just, you know, take this and maybe rotate this like this. No, I guess I have to do it like this because this is where the handle is. I'll take this out temporarily. I mean, it's not great because it's basically both of them are just the Micromaster just laying there. But I feel like that's a little better. I don't know. I like the Micromasters. I don't need them to also be weapons. I just, personally, I don't. So, I feel like there was one, I think the only one I ever really liked was the Saber. I think it was two jets that went together and made a sword. I actually thought that worked kind of well. And that first military pack, the gun that they made was decent. But I don't know. I don't need my Micromasters to also be weapons. I like the little bases. I like the little Micromasters. They're just fun. I don't need them to be goofy weapons that I just don't work. I'm sorry. They really just don't work. But I still recommend picking these up because I think they're fun little Micromasters. And if you're buying these, you're buying them because they're Micromasters, not because they also form a weapon. So, two Micromasters for $10. I think it's definitely worth the price. I think I would definitely recommend picking these up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.